Welcome to deep sleep. In this bedtime ritual, we'll have an opportunity to work out all your tensions so you can sleep peacefully through the night. Let's go ahead and grab a block and a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, a pillow will work just fine, and I'll meet you right in a seated meditation. So with this style of yin yoga, we always like to begin with a calm and quiet atmosphere. And we always start with a meditation just to allow yourself to begin in a sacred space. It is helpful to close the eyes. Just to remove any outside external distractions. So just take this next minute or so just to simply rest your mind on your breath. This is the technique, just to follow each breath in and out through the nostrils. As you bring your attention back to the present moment. With each breath, just beginning to sharpen your awareness, as you may even feel now your inhale as it caresses the inner rings and walls of your nostrils. You may even be sensitive enough now to notice the touch of your breath on your exhale as it warms the area below the nostrils, that small triangular space right above the base of your upper lip. As you just sit now and experience reality as it is. Good, you guys. So from here, just very slowly, without losing a rhythm, you're just going to allow your chin to fall to your sternum. And just feel that length in the back of your neck as you slowly start to turn your head 360 degrees. Just let your head fall back and just feel the weight as you slowly move your head 360 degrees around your neck. If you get to an area where you feel some tension, you can pause there for a moment. Then take a deep breath, then continue. We'll go one more time around, clockwise. Just feels so good before you go to bed. When I was younger, I used to have a bad habit of cracking my neck, and a chiropractor gave me this exercise. And it's really made a huge difference. Let's go ahead and change sides now. What goes around comes around. Really just let your head be heavy and just roll it around 360 degrees. One more time all the way around. Don't worry about the breath, just your natural, normal breath as you observe it. And if you need to take some deeper breaths throughout, feel free to do so. Inhale, circle your arms up over your head. Exhale, just fall forward, right over your hips. Rest your head down. So you may just, depending on your flexibility in your hips, you may just have to be on your hands. Perhaps you can drop an elbow or two. And then if that's not edgy enough for you, you can walk your hands out. But the idea really is here just to allow gravity to assist you. And just be heavy. Just let your body weight do the work. No muscles are needed. Yes, this bedtime ritual is something you can take with you. Even when you're traveling, this is nice to do before you get on an airplane. Just to calm the nervous system and open the hips. You may already notice the tightness in your low back, your hips, your neck and shoulders. So take another deep breath and just melt, soften. Good. Slowly, gently walk your hands up, come back up to a seated position, and you're just going to turn to the long edge of your mat. You really don't even need a mat to do this. We're going to start in Janu Shirshasana, so we're just going to let the right leg come forward, and we're going to slide the bottom of your left foot to the inner seam of your right thigh. Sit up tall and let your right kidney float back, and then just fall right over your right leg. And we don't necessarily want to grab the foot and pull. We just kind of want to be weightless here. You can open your palms, let your forearms come down, and just feel your range of motion. If you're doing this posture properly, you may feel a sensation in the back left kidney, tightness in your left low back. We're not really pulling or pushing, but you do want to tuck your chin, bow your head, and really just melt into it. That's it. So without fidgeting, without bouncing, without doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just feel and make a strong determination to stay with the pose without running away. If any unpleasant sensations arise, just direct your breath right into them. Just visually imagine your breath breathing right into those areas of tension. Just throughout this short class, I'll just keep reminding you to soften your breath, to soften your face. Notice if you're squeezing, if you're tightening, if you're hunching or rounding. Just one of the ways you can really tell if you are doing this properly is if you're just getting closer and closer to your mat, melting. Beautiful. Inhale, slowly roll up. Good. And you're going to fold your right leg behind you. And this is a good time to grab your pillow or your bolster. And then you're going to fold your right leg in, almost like a half pigeon. You're going to place the bolster right in front of you. And you want to turn your hips to the left. So the left leg is folded behind you, the right leg folds in front of you. And you're going to come down onto your forearms and rest your belly onto the bolster or pillow. It's almost like a supine twist. You may feel it in your left hip flexor, your right hip. Some people call it deer pose. Or just imagine like you're giving that pillow a big hug. Good, last 5 breaths. Deeper and deeper we go. Like a puddle here, just shapeless, formless. Slowly, gently, feel your way up. Good, and you're just going to turn 180 degrees. And if you did it properly, you'll just come right into the left side. So the left leg is extending out, and the bottom of your right foot is hugging the inner seam of your left thigh. So you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, just fall forward. Let that left kidney float back and just melt. Let your right forearm come to the floor. Tuck your chin. I remember I once had a yoga student who came to one of my yin classes, and you could just tell he was really having a hard time, really struggling. Constantly agitated, fidgeting, and just bouncing out of these postures. And I was very surprised, but he actually made it all the way through class. I for sure thought he was going to leave early. And I was pretty sure I was never going to see him again, just because it seemed like he really just had a difficult time. But he ran out of the studio, and I actually saw him the next day. And he wanted to remind me. He came up to me after class and he said, "Jonah, I just wanted to tell you how much I hated your class." And he said, "The only reason I stayed is because my friend had my keys." But he said, "I also want to tell you that last night was the first night that I slept through the night in 10 years. And these are his words. He said something about tossing and turning on his yoga mat and working out all his tensions allowed him to not toss and turn in his bed. And he was able to soften and really sleep deep and peacefully through the night for the first time in 10 years. Good. Slowly come on up. And don't underestimate the power of this bedtime ritual, stretching. So we're just going to fold that right leg behind you, coming right into the other side of that deer pose variation. And then you're going to cross the left foot in front of you. Just go ahead and bring that bolster. Scooch your hips over. Really slide that right knee back. And then turn your belly onto the bolster and just give it a big hug. If you want to feel a little bit more of an intense stretch, you can take that right quad back. It becomes a little bit more of a twist. And just notice how this posture influences your breath. Notice how it puts your breath right into your low belly. Yes, just imagine if you did this every night before you went to bed instead of checking your email, instead of checking your social media, your Instagram, and just allowed your nervous system to quiet down and to calm. And just give yourself an opportunity to get in touch with all your internal bodily rhythms. Your breath breathing, your heart beating. And feel this flow of bodily sensation. Last few breaths. Don't fall asleep on me. So you feel your way up. Making our way into our last few final postures. Come on up through to seated. We're going to make our way onto our backs. Come all the way down and slide the knees into your chest. Reach for the outer edges of your feet for happy baby pose. Rock from side to side. Take your hips all the way over for shoulder stand or plow. Bring the toes behind your head. Something about just elevating your feet above your head, so calming to the nervous system. It really allows you to get back to that parasympathetic where your body can truly have a chance to recover and heal. Slowly lower everything down, vertebra by vertebra. And let the soles of your feet kiss. And if you do have a bolster or a pillow or maybe even a block, I'm going to use the bolster. I'm going to slide it vertically right underneath my low back, right where my tailbone meets my low back. Come on down. Open the knees apart like a book. Allow your heart to open. Open your palms. And this is optional, but this is the last posture. Generally, before I go to bed, I like to just think of a few things I'm grateful for. They don't have to be specific, or they don't even have to be something that happened today. Just in your mind, just go over and remind yourself of perhaps 3 things you're grateful for. It could be the simple things, like the kiss from a loved one or the smell of a flower. Feel free to stay in this posture as long as you'd like. This one's usually good to stay in for a little bit longer, so trust your breath and trust your body and take care of yourself. Namaste.